Okay, Ian, now we're going to check your cranial nerves, and we're going to start from 1 and go through 12. So the very first cranial nerve we're going to check is your smelling nerve. It's called the olfactory nerve, and the way you check that is you plug one side of your nose and breathe through it, and then breathe through the other one and tell me if it's clear. Okay, switch sides. Okay, everything seems to be pretty clear there. All right, the second nerve we're going to look at is your optic nerve, and that's where we check your visual acuity. Remember, we checked your eye exam before the beginning, so you were 20/20 at that time. But we can also do a few other things to check your visual fields. So I'm going to stand behind you and I'm going to move my fingers, and when you can see them coming up from your peripheral vision, I want you to tell me, okay? All right, here you go.
Ear.
Okay.
Ear.
Are you cheating?
Ear.
Okay. So that shows that your optic nerve is intact. The next one we're going to look at is your pupillary response. That's your oculomotor. That's your third cranial nerve. And what I'm going to look at is to see if your eyes are going to constrict when I shine a light at them. So I'd like you to go ahead and look straight at me. And I'm going to shine a light at you. And I'm going to look and see if your eyes constrict. What we're looking at is indirect and direct light changes. So I see a great change in your eyes. You've got one, when I shine the light in one pupil, the other pupil responds also. Now I'm going to check your trochlear muscle, and that is to see how well your eyes focus. So I want you to keep your head still, don't move it, but I would like you to follow my finger. Oh, perfect. So that shows that you have consensual response in your eyes. All right, so the third muscle the fifth muscle we're going to check is your trigeminal muscle, and that is what we tell by how well your jaw and your cheeks work. So I'd like you to go ahead and clench your jaw, okay? And I want you to, I'm going to check your what's called a TMJ joint, which is temporomandibular joint, and I want to see how well your jaw works. So go ahead and open and close your mouth. Okay, a little bit of a pop there. Do you have any pain when that happens?
No.
Okay, open one more time. All right. Pretend like you're chewing. All right. So there is a little bit of a pop, something that we might want to have to talk to your dentist about. But if it's not causing you any pain, then that's something that I personally can't help you with. So the next nerve we're going to check out is your facial nerve. It is your sixth nerve. And it's how well your body or your face responds. I want you to go ahead and wrinkle your forehead. I'd like you to puff out your cheeks. Smile. Perfect. So you're getting some good control of that muscle. The seventh nerve that we are checking, well, that was the seventh nerve, but the eighth nerve we were checking is your auditory and how well you can hear things. I'm going to stand on this side, and I'm going to cover your left ear, and I'm going to whisper something, and I want you to tell me what I whisper because you should be able to hear it with your other ear. Ready?
19.
Okay, I'll do it on the other side.
27.
Very good. So another way we can tell if your ears are working really well is, can you hear this? Okay.
Yes.
Do you hear it anywhere stronger, or is it both the same?
Same.
Perfect. All right. So we'll go to your ninth nerve, and that is your glossopharyngeal nerve, and that's the one that you use for chewing. It also has to do with gag reflex. So if you go ahead and open your mouth for me. Your uvula is midline. That's great. Doesn't have any swelling or redness. And at this time, I would normally stick a little stick down your throat and gag you, but I can tell that you probably would have pretty good gag reflex. Next thing I'd like you to do is I'd like to check your 11th cranial nerve. It's called the spinal accessory nerve. And this is where you turn your head against resistance. So I'm going to put my hand here, and I want you to turn your head to the left. Perfect. Turn your head to the right. Lean your head to the left. Lean your head to the right. Any discomfort there with that? Are you able to shrug your shoulders? All right. Can you do it against my resistance? Perfect. All right. Go ahead and stick out your tongue for me. What we're looking for is that it's at midline, and that's your 11th cranial nerve. Go ahead and put it back in again. That's perfect. And that shows that it's right where it needs to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and check some reflexes. I'm going to check your brachial reflex. That's at the back of your arm. If you just want to go ahead and I'll turn like this so that she can see. I want you just to go ahead and relax. And I'm going to go ahead and see if we get some kind of response. Okay, good. Let's do this one also. Okay, now I'm going to check your, there's a little nerve that runs down the back of your heel, and it's called the Achilles tendon. And I'm going to try to elicit a response by hitting that tendon, okay? All right. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Good response.
Thank you.
Got a positive response on his nerves. Okay, I'd like to check your pulses. I'm going to check your brachial pulse or your radial pulses first. They're steady. They're probably a 2, pretty normal, not bounding. I'm also going to check your brachial pulses. They feel pretty good. You also have pulses behind your knee. I don't know if you ever realized that when you were running. You got some pulses behind your knee, which are great. On your foot, we have 2 different sets of pulses, and I'll raise your foot up just so that we can see it, and take off your sock. The first pulse I'm going to check is your dorsalis pedis, and that's on the top of your foot. We count it to make sure that it's pulsating. Kind of look at the color of your toes to make sure you're getting good blood flow. And then there's another pulse at the back of your foot called the posterior tibialis. And you have a great pulse there. Is there anything else I missed? All right. Well, that's the end of our exam. Thank you so much for helping.
Thank you.